Hello friends, it's pleasure to have you back on the channel of Think and Care Insight. In our today's podcast, we are going to discuss about sleep and its disturbance. So before going in detail of describing about our today's topic, first we will take the glance what things we want to discuss in our today's podcast. The first things which we are going to discuss is that sleep is something where we spend our, we can say, three part of our life. Okay, the third part of our life we are spending with our sleep. Okay, and then we also understand that what's the basis of the physiology of the sleep. Okay, we will basically discuss about the physiological basis of sleep. Then we will move ahead and we will discuss about the cycle of the sleep. Sleep is a cyclic phenomenon. So we are also going to discuss about the cyclic moment of the sleep. Then we will going to discuss about the sleep and its disturbance. Okay, what happens when person it was unable to going into the sleep. What happens to a person when they are not able to take a quality of sleep. Okay, we will also discuss about the sleeping pills. Okay, the drugs which induce the sleep or which maintain the sleep. Fine. Then we will also discuss about the sleep study. Okay, also called as the polysomnography. Okay, and at last we are going to discuss about the management of sleep disorder, both pharmacological means and non-pharmacological means. So here we begin our today's podcast. So sleep is a biological need, okay, which is yet mysterious. Mysterious means why everyone sleep, okay, but we don't know why we sleep. Fine, we not have any clear-cut idea about the sickness, okay, but we need sleep. We fall asleep. The word fall asleep, sometimes called as going to sleep and fall asleep. So basically, we fall asleep. Okay, in simple layman language, our brain, mind and body is continuously working. Okay, and at a one time they all demand rest. And eventually you fall up sleep. Fine. So this is a sleep, and it is a characteristics of a living organism. Okay, and specifically talking about it's a human which need a sleep. Now, about the interesting things about the sleep is that we spend almost 3 part of our lifespan as a sleep. Okay, it means we are investing much more time on the sleep. It must have certain relevance. It must have some significance. That's why we are sleeping. So yeah, it have the significance. Let me tell you what are those significance. The first one, as the research shows, the sleep helps to modulate your emotion pattern. You might have experienced that one time you are angry with your brother or sister, okay, and you went up to bed, okay, and you wake up in the morning and suddenly your mood changes, okay, those angerness and everything is suppressed. How it happened? It happens because when you are in a sleep mode, okay, there are certain areas in the brain, fine, which suppress those anger emotions, okay, and thereby when you wake up in the morning, you feel fresh, okay, you don't have, no longer you have the anger, fine. Apart from that, managing the emotional modulations, other things you have is about your overall the physiological process. You know that during the sleep, okay, your all body processes comes down, fine, like your respiratory rate is come down, okay, your breathing rate is come down. Apart from that, your blood pressure fall, okay, and the salivary secretion in the mouth is it's come down, and probably the gastric secretion, okay, it enhances. So digestion is also enhanced if you're taking the good sleep. Okay, if you have the proper sleep, your digestive system is working at optimal level. Fine, your blood pressure is regulated. Okay, your cardiovascular system means your heart rate is also overcome. Fine, so these are certain physiological changes during the sleep. Apart from having the impact on the physiological systems, emotional regulating, the one of the greatest role of the sleep is that it helps in the two major phenomena. The one is called the memory formation. Another one is called as the clearance of the toxic material which we accumulate during wakefulness. See, we are in a wake state right now. Okay, we are continuously interacting with the environment, with the person around us. Fine, and in all these ways, we are basically spending our energy. Okay, and that energy is channelized by the certain proteins. Fine, so those proteins, they are sometimes misfolded, okay, and there is also accumulation of something called as the amyloid body, beta amyloid body. Fine, so this beta amyloid body and misfolded proteins we can say accumulated over the wakefulness period. Fine, and it need to be clearance. It need to be you can say eliminate out from our brain system or central nervous system. So this is done while we are in sleep mode. Okay, while we are in the sleep mode, there is a one interesting system which is newly discovered. I'm not saying it's newly discovered; it's discovered in the 2012. Okay, in a mice by a photon experiment. It shows that inside our brain there is a one system called as the glymphatic system. And the glymphatic system, it does a very profound role. Okay, what it does is eliminate the alpha amyloid body, sorry, beta amyloid body basically. Apart from that, certain misfolded proteins, certain phosphorylated proteins, okay, and other toxins, they eliminate out while we are in a sleep deep manner. They clear out all those toxic material. Got it? So this is a wonderful, and apart from that, as I said, is something called as the memory formation. Okay, so while you are sleeping, the long-term memory will form. Okay, the long-term memory will form. Or basically, you strengthen those memories. See, you are in a wake state. Something I will say to you. Okay, you keep remembering it. Okay, you keep remembering it, no matter you sleep or not. But if you not sleep, you will forget sooner. Fine, but if you sleep before, it is this common experiment. No, you can do it with yourself. Before going to the bed, you read something, okay, and then you go to sleep, and in the morning you will remember those things. Fine, but if you not sleep, if you continue wake up, then you yourself will not confident about those learned concepts by which you are learning in the night. Fine. So this is a common experiment. So memory consultation, okay, as I said, the toxic clearance by the lymphatic system. Apart from that, physiological changes, the regulation of physiological changes. Another thing, as I discussed, is about your emotional regulations. Fine. And another wonderful, you can say, significance of taking a good sleep is that it's about the immune system. Your immune system is hyperactive. Okay, I'm saying the hyperactive, but it's channelizing in an optimum way while you are sleeping. That's why whenever patients be sick, okay, or they have certain element like certain illness or diseases, doctor advise to take a good sleep. Okay, and sometimes it's meet through certain sleeping pills. See, the sleeping pills administrations is really need to be prescribed by a physician. Okay, you cannot take it by your own choice. Okay, so it's saying sorry. So doctor feel the severity of patient conditions and they prescribe certain sleeping pills, a mild sedative drugs, you can say, and that will make patient to sleep, or you can say to make the maintenance of the sleep. Okay, they can maintain the lower duration of the sleep. Okay, so in the sleep you have the good immune functioning. Okay, and you can easily encounter the microbes or pathogens. So these are the certain significance of the sleep. Now let's move ahead and discuss about what happened while you are sleeping. So basically, about the sleep, there is a one you can say study. Okay, and that is called as the sleep study. So basically, the sleep study is generally you can say studying of your sleeping pattern. Fine. So you are lying on a bed. Okay, you are in a sleep base. Certain electrodes are inserted, not inserted, just like touched on your sits on your skull. Okay, and there is a one monitor which regulates the wave. Okay, which regulates the wave of your brain. Fine. And another thing is that during the sleep study, there is also regulation of the blood pressure, there is also regulation of the heartbeat, pulse rate, okay, the tonic movement of the body, like they absorb your abdominal movement, they absorb your limb movement, and they stop it. Fine, so this is about the sleep study, also called as the polysomnography. So what happened? Scientists were curious in the initial time. Before discovery of this sleep study or polysomnography, scientists was curious, okay? So basically they did one experiment with the mice. They created one portion in their mind called as the RAS, okay? This RAS system is a very, you can say, unique system in terms of getting a sleep, okay? This RAS systems will activate your brain and aware you, it is make you conscious about your environment. Okay, it's make conscious about your environment. But if this system will disconnect, you fall asleep. Okay, this is also called as the reticular activating system. So basically, your brain, okay, apart from that, you have the medulla, pons, spinal cord. Okay, so these are basically a part of your central nervous system. And these central nervous systems, RAS, connect the rest of the body, you can say the function with your higher system. So if you discontinue this RAS system, okay, you fall asleep. You fall asleep because you know I have longer control on your conscious environment. Got it? then this is not a clear description about the sleep. The scientists move ahead and they discover this phenomenon called the polysomnography. They discovered the electrode, they discovered the monitor which can detect the wave, the pattern of a wave which we exhibit while we are sleeping. So there are basically three stages, okay, which is classified into the two categories. The first category is called as the non-random eye movement, fine, and another category is called as the random eye movement. So first, we take the non-random eye movement, and then then after 15 or we can say the 12 minutes, we goes into the random eye movement. So in the non-random eye movement, what happens? So it's basically a change over between the wakefulness and the sleep. Okay, basically it's the wakefulness and sleep change over time period. So you going into the bed, you lie down, okay, you slowly you close your eyes, your body, you can say the temperatures, they drop down, okay, your heartbeat drop down, and you fall in a sleep. But this period, if someone make a noise, okay, or if someone touch you can easily wake up. Okay, so that's why I said no, this is a changeover period. This is the changeover period. Now, the next period, that's called the stage 2 or random eye movement. This is basically a kind of coma state. Okay, so it's something like we spend, as I said, that the 3 part of our life in a sleep way, as a sleep state, means it's not a coma state actually, but it's closely correlated with the coma. Okay, but the one fundamental difference between the sleep and coma is that sleep is a reversible state. Okay, you can reverse it. Okay, you can reverse it, but coma is something which you can't reverse according to your wish. Okay, according to your wish, you can't reverse the coma state. You cannot make the comatose state directly into the wakeful state. But while you are sleeping, you can make the person to get in a wakeful or conscious state. Right? So that's the fundamental difference. Now we are discussing basically about the second step. Now in the second step, what happening? We are talking about this random eye movement. What is happening here? Here, slowly your heartbeat become fast. Okay, your basically the blood pressure gonna raise, your temperature gonna raise, you sweat profusely, basically. Okay, and here something amazing happen, something strange happen. What? Here you are going into the dream state. Fine, you know that we dream, but we don't know why we dream, and we no longer have control on dream. Apart from that, we also cannot remember all the dream. It's also that 90 to 95% dreams we cannot remember while we are in a wakeful state. But yeah, certain 5% dream you can remember, but 90 to 95% of the dream you cannot even. No one knows why we dream. Okay, there are descriptions, but again, there is a contradiction of those concepts, those given descriptions. Like when Freud says that we dream just because something which we want very, you can say very anger way, very strongly we want in the daytime, but we can't fulfill those moments, then our dream will fulfill those you can say the moments or those desired part. But it's not entirely true. You might have experienced that whatever you does in your daytime, but that not reflect in your dream. The past 10 years event did that occur in your dream. Okay, so it's not certain. It's not certain. Fine. So in the random eye movement, what is happening? Your eyeball, it is rotating in a very fast way. All your muscles become in a very ease, means all the muscles become paralyzed, also called as the sleep paralysis. And that's not actually meaning of sleep paralysis. I will describe it in a few minutes. But for a while, you just understand all the muscles will go in a very, you can say, calm state. You have no longer control on your muscles. Fine. You no longer have control on the muscles. Apart from that, your only muscle which is working is your ocular muscle, your eye muscle. They are completely in a restless, you can say, restless state. Means your eyeball is continuously rotating. Okay, your eyeball is continuously rotating, and you have one vivid, a bizarre, you can say, a dream. Fine. So in the dream state, certain things are really active. Generally, there is one misconception which is written in the book, and it is that while you are sleeping, your brain is inactive. But my friends, it's truly a false belief. Okay, your brain cannot be going into the rest state. It's always working as your heart is working. Why? I must say, you know that, yeah, your dreams, okay, it activates certain system in your mind. Okay, you can take the example of your frontal cortex. Fine, you can take the example of the thalamus. You can take the example of your visual cortex. Fine. So these all systems are still working. Okay, these all systems are still working. That's why we can say that brain is not entirely inactive. Partially they are inactive, but entirely they are not inactive. Fine. Apart from that, sometimes what happened, you suddenly wake up. Okay, you suddenly wake up and you observe that you are wake up, but your body is no longer no longer control in your hand, in your mind. You want to wake up from the bed, but you can't. Okay, and you are in a wakeful state, and this is called as the sleep paralysis. This is called as the sleep paralysis, and it is a disease condition basically. Okay, it's not you can categorize it as a disease condition, but this is a disease condition. Fine. So basically, if we summarizing the sleep cycle, there is basically two types, called a non-random eye movement and the random eye movement, and this all is about 1.5 hours. Means in one time you go into the bed, you can repeat a multiple cycle of this, Fine. So this is about the sleep cycle. Now, coming to the sleeping disturbance, what happened? Generally, sleep disorders is something interestingly, it's the you can say the widest spread field of medical science. Fine. And there are more than 90% disorders are categorized with the full description, with a complete description. 90 disorder of sleep one need. Now you are amazed, no? 90 disorder of sleep. Fine. Now, so basically, these all 90 category of diseases are classified into the three categories. The one is called as the insomnia. Fine. Another one is called as the daytime sleeping. Fine. And last one is called as the difficulty in the sleep. Okay, or difficult sleep. So these are basically the three category of sleep. Got it now? So there is one misconception about sleep, which we can say a person asks to the doctor or they inquire on the social media. Okay, and they got the not appropriate answer. So the thing is that we generally you can say assumed or developed a belief about the sleep in our mind is that we need daily a certain hours of the sleep, and that's not entirely true. My friend, you evolved. Okay, you evolved in this planet as a life. Okay, not as a human being. Okay, to talking about your origin is in the jungle, in the forest. Fine, and there you don't need you can say the sleeping you can say hours. If you sleep on the jungle, you know what happens. There are certain animals which can come and eat you. Okay. So basically you evolved, okay, you evolved as a life, not as a modern human beings. So what you need is the rest. What your body needs is the rest. What your mind needs is the rest, okay? And rest can be attained by listening to music, by simply sitting in a calm way, good posture, erected spine. You can have the rest, or you don't have any stress. Okay, like generally people go to the bed in a stress state of mind. Okay, and they thought that they fall asleep, but they cannot fall asleep because they are already in a stress state. The adrenaline and non-adrenaline levels, they are bursting, they are fighting, and their autonomic nervous system is unconsciously fighting with. They cannot fall in the sleep. Okay, so one of the tips I personally experienced, which I want to advise, is that whenever you are stressed, directly don't go to the bed. Okay, instead of going to the bed, you first calm down your body, okay, calm down your mind. Maybe if you have the habit of listening to music, or if you have the habit of writing something, or if you have the habit of dancing, or etc., it depends upon the person. You can do that, which make your body calm, and then you go to the bed, you easily fall asleep. Fine. Now, coming to the management of the sleep. The management of the sleep, as I discussed with you, that they are attained with both the means. First one is called pharmacological means, another one is called as a non-pharmacological means. Now, in coming to the pharmacological means, we have certain categories of drugs, okay, which act on the central nervous system and make them depressed. Depressed means all drugs are central nervous system depressants. Okay, they make your neurons depressed so that you no have longer excited state of your neurons and you fall asleep. What are those drugs? Now you may curious to know. These are called as the barbiturates, okay, benzodiazepines, certain sedative drugs, okay, and apart from that, there is a one category of drug, and that is called as the amphetamines, okay. Amphetamines, these are certain pharmacological drugs, and they basically work on your so-called RAS system, reticular activating system, a bundle of neurons, and they make these drugs act on them or make them the exhaustion of certain neurotransmitters. Like you need a serotonin, okay, you need a serotonin in your wakeful state. Okay. So in this state, you don't, in you can say in the sleep state, you don't want the serotonin. Okay, so basically they inhibit the serotonin. Apart from that, they inhibit the norepinephrine and epinephrine, and thereby you have the, you can say, depletion of these neurotransmitters, and your brain easily goes into the sleep state. So this is about the pharmacologicalness. Now, there was a study in the PubMed website which I seen recently, and this says that among the medical students, they misusing these sleeping pills. Basically, the sleeping pills is a generic name of those drugs which basically induce a sleep or maintain a sleep. So medical students, they are misusing this drug just because of enhancing their performance, or want to get high, or want to you can say want to handle the pressure, fine, or some recreational purpose like inactive in the sports, or there are so many things. Okay, so there's one study. I advise you to go and study those research paper. I will put the link also in the description of this podcast. Fine. Now, coming to the non-pharmacological management of the drugs. Now, this I personally advise which you, if you have any problem of not getting the sleep, remember always that sleep is not your motive. Your motive is what it should be, the rest. You provide enough rest to your body. You don't need too much sleep. You can observe, like you see the farmers, okay? They work very hard, okay? And they don't care about the place. They don't care about even the time. They simply lie down and fall asleep, okay? They don't need to take the drug. No, they don't. They are not taking the drug, okay? They make their body like in such a way that they don't need any drug or any, you can say, supplement to induce a sleep there, that will fall asleep. So it depends upon, and there is one also a conception, and that is called as the sleep requirement. And I basically personally refuse those given data. Yeah, in the initial period, like in the infant condition, in infant state, or in the newborn state, they need 18 to 20 hours of the sleep, and that is something which is really necessary, because their eyeball, okay, their basically the vision phenomenon is not properly, you can say, they are not properly basically aligned with the present environment, because suddenly, that immediately they born, okay, they come from a certain environment where there is no light, uterus, okay, so they come from the uterus, and suddenly they are exposed to the bright light. It can damage their retina. So God, or you can say the nature, provide one amazing phenomenon there. Most of their, you can say, the newborn period, they are in their sleep state, because that's necessary. If they are in the wakeful state, their retina was easily damaged and they become the blind. Fine. Are you getting the point? So that very moment, that is necessary, okay? Then you move to the 5 to 7 year child, then they need a 16 to 12 hours of the sleep. Then you go to the adult state, they need 12 to 7 hours. Then you go to the old stage, they need 5 to 6 hours. This is basically a sleep requirement which you generally studied in the textbook. But remember always, the sleep requirements depends upon which type of work you are doing. If you are doing the extensive exercise, if you are doing the extensive hard work, okay, you need a different level of the sleep. Fine. If you are simply resting your body, you need minimum level of the sleep. Fine. So it depends upon the work stress which you are exhibiting or putting on your body. Fine. It also depends upon this kind of food you are taking. Okay. There's one general yogic practice, and that's very amazing. Now we are coming to the non-pharmacological management. Fine. I'm very curious to discuss it, because it's something which is really very necessary to know. Okay. To advise. Apart from that, to do practices. So the one thing is, as I said, that your food habits also can create the impact on your sleep duration or quality of sleep. Fine. So if you take the raw foods, okay, you have the minimum hours of the sleep. Okay, in the less hour of the sleep, you feel refreshed. Fine. If you eat certain food which is high in the lipid, okay, high in the fat, you need more time to digest it. Your body have the great inertia. Fine. So you will take a longer time for the sleep. Fine. It depends upon the food pattern. It depends upon basically the food pattern. Okay. So that's basically this one advice which you generally heard or see. There's something called as take a light meal in the night, and that's really true. If you take the light meal, okay, you have the good sleep. Fine. Apart from that, before going into the bed, if you have the difficulty in getting the sleep or maintaining the sleep, you can do one very unique kind of yogic practice, and that is called basically a Sambhavi Mahamudra. In this Sambhavi Mahamudra, it's the one kind of yogic practice, is the one kind of yoga where you are simply sitting down, okay, in a cross leg positions, okay. You make your index finger and your thumbs in a circle, okay. You test all your three fingers, basically put it on your thigh, fine. You sit in a very erect spine, very comfortable, in a easy way, comfortable positions. Uplift your chin, uplift your head, okay, and move your eyeballs certain, and then focus on your mid part of your, you can say the forehead, fine, and just simply rest for 5 to 7 hours. And there are certain, you can say, yogic mantras. By chanting those mantras, okay, and maintaining these postures, you will go into the sleep, okay. Now, apart from that, the exercise, the walking, okay, listening to the music, walking in the morning in the garden, fine. These all are the non-pharmacological methods, and also taking the light warm water before going into the bed, or you can take another like meal, okay. So these are certain non-pharmacological means of maintaining the sleep, okay. If you have the difficulty in sleep, you can maintain all these things, fine. So let's summarize today's podcast. What we just discussed basically is that sleep is something which we are taking daily, but we don't know what is the basis, but what is the basis of it. But we have such an idea that it will overall maintain our health by challenging our immune system, by enhancing our physiological system, also by memory formations and clearance of the toxicity in the brain. We also discussed that generally we take a cyclic sleep, okay, about 1.5 hours in multiple times. Where the first part, our body goes slowly, and in the next part, that is called the random eye movement, we are like in a coma state, fine. And also the dreams comes, fine. We also discussed about the sleep disorders, okay. There are more than 90 sleep disorders are well categorized, okay, and there is a ways of manage the difficulties in sleep or sleep problems both by the pharmacological and non-pharmacological means. In the pharmacological means, basically we use a certain sedative drugs or low dose of benzodiazepines, right? And in the non-pharmacological means, the yogic practices and your food habits, okay, your ways of providing the stress, this all matters. So I hope you understood today's podcast. So thank you for having us. Bye. Have a nice day.